Hey everybody, Joe Joseph here for thedailysheeple.com, and this is your news shot. So zerohedge.com, boy, blew my the head off my shoulders almost. They mirrored a Free Thought Project article. Congress quietly passed a bill allowing warrantless searches of homes, and only 1%, my friends, only 1% opposed the bill. Now, this is a very interesting thing. I hope that, your 10th Amendment Center or other activists within the legal sphere will go and challenge this bill. But this specifically affects people in the Metro D.C. area, in Virginia, and in Maryland specifically. And who knows where it goes from here. It says a bill that will allow homes to be searched without warrant was passed by an overwhelming support of the United States Congress and signed into law by President Trump. And by the way, no media coverage, no fanfare. On the surface, the House Joint Resolution 76 looks harmless. The title of the bill claims that its purpose is, quote, granting the consent and approval of Congress for the Commonwealth of Virginia, the state of Maryland, and the District of Columbia to enter into a compact relating to the establishment of the Washington Metro Rail Safety Commission. Sounds totally delightful. It says, whereas the Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority, an interstate compact agency of the District of Columbia, the Commonwealth of Virginia, and the state of Maryland, provides transportation services to millions of people each year, the safety of whom is paramount. Whereas an effective and safe Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority system is essential to the commerce and prosperity of the National Capital Region, whereas the Tri-State Oversight Committee, created by a memorandum of understanding among these three jurisdictions, has provided safety and oversight of the Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority. Now, the proposal for a safety commission to act as a wing of the Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority may sound logical when its power includes such things as, to adopt, revise, and distribute a written state safety oversight program, or maybe to even review and approve or oversee and enforce the adoption and implementation of a WMATA Public Transportation Agency safety plan. That's pretty good, right? But there's one major red flag that's buried within the text of this bill that stems from the list of powers given to the Safety Commission. And by the way, it's one that violates the basic tenets of the Constitution. And this is what it says, quote, in performing its duties, the Commission, through its board or designated employees or agents, may enter upon the WMATA rail system and upon reasonable notice and a finding by the chief executive officer that a need exists upon any lands, waters, and premises adjacent to the WMATA rail system, including, without limitation, property owned or occupied by the federal government for the purpose of making inspections, investigations, examining, and testing as the Commission may deem necessary to carry out the purposes of this MSC compact, and such entries shall not be deemed a trespass. Now, the text gives the Commission the authority to enter property near the Metro Rail system without limitation and without warrant for the purpose of making inspections and investigations, and examining and testing. And this clearly, of course, goes against the Fourth Amendment. Now, let's review the Fourth Amendment, shall we? The Fourth Amendment says, to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against all unreasonable searches and seizures, this shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause. Now, when the bill was brought to a vote in the House of Representatives, there were only 5 congressmen that voted against it. Representatives Justin Amash of Michigan, Walter Jones of North Carolina, Thomas Massey of Kentucky, Alex Mooney of West Virginia, and Mark Sanford of South Carolina. Amash called it out, surrounding the fact that even though this legislation is a clear violation of the Constitution, it was passed by an overwhelmingly large amount in Congress because there was only 5 people that voted against a bill allowing. This is his, let me say exactly what, this was his tweet. He said, only 5 of us voted against bill allowing government to enter and search private properties in parts of Virginia, Maryland, and D.C. without a warrant. Now, this isn't the first time Congress, of course, has quietly passed a bill that takes away some of our most basic rights, right? Especially from law-abiding citizens that don't break the law in the first place, but of course we got to pay for it. Why? Because government, my friends, only has one tool in their toolbox, and it's a hammer. And that's what they know how to use, and they use it effectively. They use it quite well. And they're going to use it against you. So, interestingly enough, more police state, more control, more death by a million paper cuts, if you will. And yet the same amount of apathy exists out there as slowly but surely the water starts to boil with the frogs in the pot. I'm Joe Joseph. This was thedailysheeple.com's News Shot. Feel free to comment below and visit our website at thedailysheeple.com. Have a great day.